Good morning and hello. Wow. I still see a screenshot. Hi, good morning, everybody. Hello. This is Creative Living. I am Jane Klaus, and I'm so excited to be here with you on Sewing Machines Plus Takeover Tuesday. It is great to be here with all of you and sewing alongside of you. Now, I know that some people watch all the time and you are expert sewists, and I have some people that are like, hey, I'm going to tune in and learn about sublimation. I'm just happy that you are here. I want to say hi to Arlene. Anne is watching. Joanne Banco. Hey, Joanne. I watched you last week. I always learn so much from you. Let's see. We got Joan. You know me. She's been like online for 3 hours. We've got Shirley. So it's going to be a great day. Carly Bell is watching as well. One of my favorites. So this is going to be so much fun. So today I want to inspire you with sublimation and sustainability. And guess what? It is the week of Thanksgiving. And I'm just excited to be here to get you inspired because maybe one of the things that we do today, you will incorporate into your Thanksgiving table. We're going to get to that in a second. We got a big show lined up for you. I'm going to try to cram it all into an hour. I do have some giveaways at the end of the show. So what I want to tell you is people who don't know me, like Carly Bell knows me because I went and stayed at her house and I just took over her room and asking her a million questions. So people who don't know me like Carly Bell, I have been sewing and crafting since I was 7 years old. My mom got tired of me using her fabric scraps. So I guess I was like sustainable fashioning way back then. She got tired of me stapling my Barbie clothes together. So she she taught me how to sew, excuse me. And I always tell my friends, if you can't sew, it's a couple of straight stitches and a little math, you're going to be just fine. So it's just something I've done my entire life. My career has been on the radio and television. And now guess what? YouTube is television. So here we are. I also have a podcast by the same name as my show, Creative Living. You can get that everywhere you get your podcasts. I have a new season coming up in January of 2025. So if you haven't listened, you can catch up now. And I talk to everybody and anything. Sometimes we're talking about cleaning up your craft room. Sometimes we're talking about making it forward. We're talking about creative living in all kinds of ways. So catch up if you haven't heard any of the shows, but more will be coming out in January of 2025. So today we're going to dive into sublimation and how you can use it. I have a simple project that you can do today, and you can actually have it ready for Thanksgiving. Now, if you don't have a sublimation printer, then you can order one today and you can do this project for Christmas. It is evergreen and you can do it for every occasion and every holiday, but be sure to throw in your questions. I will try to stop looking at you and look at your questions every now and again. I do want to say and talked about Sewing Machines Plus. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, SMP, for having me today. I do a lot of shows with Blaine. So he does a lot of quarterly shows. He does Sew Fest. He does Quilt Fest. He does Hoop Fest. Coming up on Monday, we have got Cyber Monday. And you better believe it, I will be here with Blaine all day. Cyber Monday, that is 1 week from yesterday is Cyber Monday. It's new products every 15 minutes. And because it is Cyber Monday, you betcha Blaine is going to have some fabulous deals for you that day. So tune in first thing in the morning. We'll be live for 6 hours plus, showcasing all of these amazing products that SMP has for you. Now, I will also then continue on with Blaine for the rest of the week next week for Countdown to Christmas. That's because there's not very much time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Normally we split up Cyber Monday and Countdown to Christmas, but after that, Tuesday through Friday, we are going to be doing Countdown to Christmas. We'll be live 6 hours a day, learning about the products, showcasing the products, and also learning new tips and tricks and education. It is a fantastic week on the air. And I love having all of you guys here. And I'm loving, who are you? Jane watching from Kalamazoo. I love Kalamazoo. I have a friend named Elizabeth that lives in Kalamazoo. Hey, Liz. Also, somebody asked me about the print from my shirt. This is a t-shirt, heat transfer vinyl, and we're going to talk about the difference between heat transfer vinyl and sublimation in just a second. But this is a heat transfer vinyl shirt. It was just a t-shirt. Of course, I took off the sleeves and made my own puffy sleeves. They're going to be getting in the way today when we're sewing together, but that's okay. That's another idea. You can always go to my website and learn how to change your sleeves out on any t-shirt. And my website is Jane Clous, CLAUSS.com, janeclous.com. Sign up for my newsletter, check out for inspiration. You can find the podcast there. You can find a couple of TV segments I've done, but it's a great place to go and hang out. And I would love to see you there. If you have any questions for me that I don't see on the chat, there is a little chat email box on my website that you can send me a note. And I would love to hear from all of you. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Samantha. It is so great to have you here. Linda, all the Lindas. So let's, it is Thanksgiving week. I do have a question of the day and I want to hear from you. I'm going to look it up. Who is cooking? Put a 1 in the chat box if you are cooking. That's what I want to see, how many people, because I understand how it goes, because you're creative, you're sewing, you're quilting, you're crafting, and you're quilting. So I'm going to see who is quilting, or who's quilting, who's cooking. And then I want to know a lot of people so far. Okay. Star, she's cooking. Terry, great. Ginger, I'll be right over. Tina, it's going to be great. Wow. I hope that you're in the kitchen watching this today. And then you can set your table because we're going to be doing tablescaping. All right, here's my question of the day. What is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? What is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish? Yeah, I got to study for you. So is it stuffing or dressing? Is it mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes? Is it mac and cheese? I'm going to see what everybody thinks there is. And then I'm going to tell you what the majority of Americans said in a poll by Campbell's called the State of the Sides Report. Corn pudding, stuffing, sweet potatoes, green beans, so all kinds of different things. Joanne Banko, she likes sweet potatoes. Good morning, Marianne. Hi, Georgia. Karen, cranberry sauce. Okay, I think my favorite is mashed potatoes. And I mean, mac and cheese is right up there, but we never have mac and cheese. Warm cranberry sauce, that's good. Dressing collard greens. Okay, I like that. And I put all the things on my plate. I don't like to section it out, and I just eat it all. It doesn't matter if it smashes up. Carly Bell, she likes the sweet potatoes, which is basically dessert. It is because they're very sweet, Carly. Okay, so according to this recent study by Campbell's, 56% of Americans prefer stuffing. I knew that. I read another poll. It was like 65% of Americans preferred stuffing and dressing. And mashed potatoes came in at a close second, 55%. Sweet potatoes came in at 38%. Green bean casserole, which that's my second favorite. 35% of the people like that. In fact, it's so not healthy is why I love it so much. Macaroni and cheese, 30% coming in last. Hi, Jane from Pennsylvania. 38% would be just fine enough to have only side dishes and forget the turkey altogether. Like I said, I put it all on the plate and eat it all. So I know I'm making you hungry. It's just fine. I had to do my question of the day. I want to know what you're making. I'm going to go back and read everybody. And if you have a secret family recipe and you want to share it, we need to figure out a way that we can do that as well. Okay, let's talk about sublimation. That is our project for today. And we're going to be talking about the Brother Sublimation Printer, the SP-1. Now, it is from Brother. We know that Brother also makes printers. So you're getting what you come to know in a Brother printer, and that's reliability, durability, clarity, all of the good things that Brother is known for. Now, I have to tell you this. This printer is going to change the way you create. How many people, I'm curious, already have this printer? And how many people are curious about the printer? You don't need a fabric roll for the printer because you're going to be printing on paper. I'm going to take you over to the printer. I'm going to show you how it works. And I want you to think about this while we're going through the printer. If you are already an expert sewist or a quilter, or you make garments, or you make home decor, start thinking about how you can use sublimation in what you already do. If you're a newbie and you're like, I don't even know how to turn on a computer or a sewing machine, this is an easy project. Anybody can do it because you're printing, you're designing, you're printing, and you're sublimating, which means you're heat pressing it into the fabric. So today we're going to take it to the next level because I think blanks are fine. I have a couple of blanks here. This is what we're going to be using on my cooks. This is your oven mitt. So this is a blank. You can just buy a blank and you could print, sublimate onto the blanks. I mean, you could sublimate onto blanks like this is a towel, but you can also print a design and then you can just sublimate it right here on the towel. So let's go over and talk about the printer because I want to show you all about it. Follow me this way. I'm going to be doing a lot of moving around. So if we, if we get messed up, I've got this thing here and I'm going to be pressing buttons. This is where we're going. Come on. Okay. Walking right in front of the camera. Here we go. This is the Brother Sublimation Printer. It looks just like a printer, except that it prints sublimation ink. Now, I was showing you the examples, and the sublimation ink comes right in here. You get 4 full-size ink. The sublimation ink prints on a piece of paper, and then you heat press it onto the fabric or the material that you're pressing on. Today we're going to be working with fabric, but you can also press it on mugs and tumblers and all kinds of different things. I stay close to fabric and I like to work in that world. But this printer comes with 4 full-size inks. I've had this for over a year and I'm not even halfway through and I'm always printing things out. It looks like a printer. It has an open and a close and a lid. This in here only tells you how to get started. It tells you how to use the Artspira app. It shows you where to put the paper. It shows you how to get started with your sublimation. So it's a handy guide. You've got QR codes right here. I love it because even if you're an expert, you're going to always look back at what the tips and tricks. Okay, this is where the paper goes. I'm going to tell you something. Here's a little tip for you. You get the paper. There's little notches on one of the corners. This little notch, you're going to put it to the right side when you're putting it in, and then it's always going to be printed on the right side of the paper because when you're looking at the sublimation paper, one side is where it gets printed on, so it feels a little bit different than the paper that you're going to use in a regular printer. It's sublimation paper, and then the back side is just your regular paper. So I'm going to put that in, close her up. She's a little crabby that I've messed around with her because she was really happy, but you get 100 sheets of paper, or you get 10 sheets of paper that come with the printer. But it's an easy setup. You're going to send your designs directly to the printer from your laptop, from your computer, from your iPad, just like you would send it from any other printer. Or you can use the Brother Artspira app. And I'm going to show you the Artspira app right now, excuse me, in my shirt. And we're going to talk about sublimation versus heat transfer vinyl. Okay, so here I am. We're going to get into the Artspira app. There it is. I'm going to see if there's any questions so far. I have the printer. I want you guys to think about this, because I know if you order the printer, Blaine will get it out to you ASAP. Okay, this is this is the Brother Artspira app. Like I said, you can send designs directly from your laptop or a computer, and I do that a lot, but I really like the Artspira app because you can do embroidery designs, you got cutting designs, all across the top, printing designs, sublimation designs, And let's say you wanted to create your own fabric. So you're going to print something like that, for example, is a full size zebra print that you could print on a piece of paper and put it on a piece of polyester fabric. And now you've made your own fabric. So I do love the Artspira app. You can scroll through, you can see you have embroidery designs, you've got cutting designs, you've got sublimation designs. You can see here, look at how cool. These are little cars that you could sublimate on anything really that you could create something with. These you'll see here. Here's some sublimation designs that they have put on tumblers and coffee mugs. This is a free download, the Artspira app. All you do is go to the App Store and you can download it. But as we're looking, printing designs, cutting designs, other recommendations, there is a paid version of the app. If you want to just use the app for creating designs, then it's a free download. So let's go and create a design. So I'm going to go into new. I'm going to click on, you can see embroidery here at the top. You can see cutting and you can see printing. Since we're focusing on sublimation, we're going to do printing. I'm going to go to the design editor. I'm going to say, okay, for a letter size. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add a piece of data, a graphic that I created on my laptop. And I saved here to my iPad. So because I'm making napkins, personalized Thanksgiving napkins, I'm going to choose one of the designs. And this one says turkey and pie and football. Oh my, that sounds like the perfect opportunity for a great meal and Thanksgiving, football and Thanksgiving. And then we're going to say, okay, I'm going to add another, and I'm going to go into my designs. Let's see. Okay, feast mode is so fun. What do we want feast mode? No, let's not do that. Let's do something else. Let's go back in because I already did a football theme. Let's do this. That's sweet. No, she's just cute. Gobble, gobble till you wobble. I love that. What do you guys think? Yeah. Okay. So, okay, let's do that because we'll be eating and these are napkins. I think that's perfect. So it just took me a minute to figure that out. Now we like this. Okay, good. So I've got two. I'm going to put 2 on a page because I want to save my paper. You could put 4 on a page depending on the size you want. I want this a little bit bigger so it shows off on a napkin. I probably should have showed you what the napkin looks like, but you're going to have to wait. Okay, so let's add some names. Let's see. Let's do Leo, and then I'm going to type that in. I'm going to change the font. Leo is my neighbor. His birthday is November 30th. So I'm going to make him, he has a huge party on his birthday. So I'm going to make him a napkin. And so what I'm doing here is changing the colors. You can see I can make this as big or as small as I want. I can put this off to the side. You can change the font. I think I'm going to change the font because that's just how I am. Let's see. Florida bold. That's cool. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to go in here. And you can make this any color. You know what? I'm going to change the color now. I'm going to make it cranberry. So it matches the and a little bit. Okay, isn't that cute? Okay, so gobble till you wobble. Let's add Alita. Alita is Leo's wife, and she is my good friend. So we'll put this here because, you know, you got to give something for the wife too. But again, let's change the font. That's more scripty. Oh, that's cute. Look at that. It's like those little guys standing on it. Okay, here we go. So I like this. What do you guys think? Thumbs up. I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it Leo. I'm going to hit save. So now it's going to end up in my creations. And what happens once it's saved, and again, these are designs that I pulled in and saved on my iPad, and I pulled them into Artspira. I've put these couple of designs on my website, JaneClaus.com. If you scroll down to today's post, it's under the latest. You'll see a promotion for this show. You can go there and download some of these different designs. But now I can say I'm done. Now, what did I do? I hit done and it's inverted the image. So it is going to print, it's going to print inverted. because when you sublimate it on the fabric, it will come out the right way. So here I go. I'm going to say okay. And hopefully the printer will say, oh, there's an error because I was goofing around with the printer. That's okay. Here we go. I had to think about it. The data transmission is complete. So now, as you can see behind me, it is going to print. And it'll just take a second. And while that's printing, we're going to say done. I'm going to take you to my creations. You can see how much fun I've been having. Look at how cute that is. I'm going to cancel that. Let's see what else. Oh, this one's fun. Let's get basted. You can do all of the napkins the same. That's on my website too. Oh, this one's really great. Talk turkey to me. And there you go. So as this is printing, I had some friends. This is cute. Friends were getting engaged, so we made them some t-shirts. But there's so many different things that you can do. I just came back from Greece, so I found this really cool Greek matzi. So many things that you can do and design with your Artspira app. So let's see. That is slowly coming out, as you can see. The machine is awesome. I love the idea of you implementing it into what you already do. Think about your quilting. Think about taking a photo of somebody and putting it inside the quilt. And I also, when you think about heat transfer vinyl versus sublimation, your upfront costs for this will be for the machine, but then you're just going to have tons of time to play around and to design and create. So let's see what is happening over here. And I'm going to walk in front one more time. And I'm going to take this out. Let's look at that. So I think you can see the colors look a little bit washed out. Don't worry, because when you heat press it into the fabric, they will come out brilliant and bright and beautiful. So we come over here to our workspace, and we've got what we just printed out. Today we're going to be talking sustainability and sublimation. So sustainability comes with deconstructing old flannels. We're going to get to that in just a second. But I want to show you how to put this together. I have cut out, yes, I love huge napkins. I do. Because then there's just more space to get messy, and you can get even more messy. I have cut out 18 by 18 inches. I was going for 20, but I messed up my my measurement, but that's okay. So actually, I'm going to put the raw edge at the bottom. People say, oh, Jane, you always make fancy napkins. Like, what happens if I get cranberry stains all over the center of it? Guess what? Then put a little spray and shout in it, get rid of the stain, or make the stain fade, and then use it next year, and then use it next year, and use it next year. And then every year, you're going to remember the year you did that. Okay, here's what we have here. I have 2 per page. I'm going to give you a top tip. If you rip the paper, it's not going to have, let's do Leo because we talked about his birthday. It's going to make it, so sometimes when you press this in, it gives a line around it. But if you rip the paper, it gives it kind of a raw, softer edge. So it's not going to create an indent. In quilting, or we call it hoop burn. In this case, it's going to be heat press burn. It's not necessarily a burn. It's just sort of because it's so hot when we press it. So I have put, you can see Leo is inverted. I am making sure that that is in the center. So my center is here. And I'm going to use, there we go. This is heat resistant tape. And I just have this little dispenser from my friends at Craft Express. You can get these anywhere really, but you want to use heat resistant tape. You don't need to put that much, like you're wrapping a gift. And this is ready to go and be put in the heat press. So follow me over to the heat press. And I'm going to have to turn this. There we go. Oh, look at that. That's my heat press. So this is the Workspace flat press from our friends at Craft Express. I have it set to 385 for 50 seconds. Times will vary and differ based on what you are going to be heat pressing. So make sure you just, look that up before you put that in. I am using polyester fabric. This is 100% polyester. I'm laying it on the flat press. And this is how you make the sandwich. And then I'm going to put on top of it a piece of parchment paper. And lucky for you, I got a new piece of parchment paper because the one I was using was all brown because I use it so much. Looked like it had been in the oven. Now, on top, I'm going to pull this down a little bit so you can see. On top, I have this will give it more pressure or less pressure. So if you're working on, let's say, that oven mitt, you're going to do less because it's thicker. But this should be just fine right there. Oh, wait. Let me just reset that. And then we're going to put that right there. Okay. So that is going to be heat pressing for the next 50 seconds. You're going to hear a loud buzz. I'm going to pull it out, and you're going to see how beautiful and vibrant that is. Now, let's talk about the difference between heat transfer vinyl and sublimation. So heat transfer vinyl, we love it. They're both magical in their own certain ways. Sublimation, you typically need to use lighter fabrics, white or an off-white or a very light gray, because those colors need to be soaked in and embedded into the fabric. You can use darker colors if you're doing a heat transfer vinyl. So again, they're both magical in their own ways, and they're both good for whatever purpose you need. Heat transfer vinyl sits on top of the fabric, where sublimation is embedded into the fabric or the material that you are pressing it into. Oh, look what is ready for us. Okay, so that was loud. And I'm going to pull this off. And let's go. You can see it's super hot, by the way. Let's go over to our overhead. And you don't really need to let it cool. If it's on sequins, you want to let it cool. This is just on fabric. You're going to be so excited. Look at that. I love it. Do you see how bright and beautiful that is? I'm looking to see if you have questions. Yes. You need a dispenser. I know this dispenser is great. Okay. So this is the front side of your napkin. It's bright and it's beautiful. I'm going to then make the back side from our fabric. But I wanted to quickly finish about the sublimation versus the heat transfer. Heat transfer sits on top. It is thicker. You can feel it. And sometimes down the road, it might crack. Whereas sublimation is woven into the fabric. Look at that. It's already woven in. And it's going to be embedded in that fabric forever and ever and ever. So that is the difference between the two. Now, we are going to talk about sustainability. Please. You're going to be so mad at me that I'm going to want to cut apart this beautiful flannel. This is a flannel that was in the garbage, okay? I was walking down the street and I saw a bag of clothes. I love to repurpose old clothes. Could I have brought this to the thrift store? Yes. What did I do instead? I took it home, I washed it, and now I'm going to make it into a super cool napkin for you, and it has a new life. So I'm going to deconstruct my flannel shirt. There's so many things that you can do with different flannels and the different fabrics. I love going to the thrift store to find different garments to use. By the way, save your scraps. I'm going to save these sleeves. I might use them later. And then I'm just going to cut this apart. I do a lot of cutting of men's shirts. Sometimes I make them into dresses. But I'm just going to take my... And that's cutting through a lot, so I'm going to do another cut with my scissors. This cut is really bulky. And then you could save the collar if you want, I suppose. When we talk about the fabrics, I'm going to use the back of the fabric for my napkin. And get this, you're going to love it. I'm going to use the front of all of my flannel shirts to make a table runner for my Thanksgiving table. And you're going to see that at the end of the show. So I want these to be 18 inches. So if I do this in the middle, my 18 is right about here. I probably would be a little bit more careful with my measuring. if we weren't live and I wasn't trying to hurry. But I also really want to use this. So I'm not going to get too crazy. And there's my 18 right here. Oh, everything is sticking. This is really cool. So this cutting mat I'm using, it's got these magnets on it. So these magnets stick to the mat. So if I was cutting all of those white pieces of fabric and I wanted to cut a bunch out, they hold the fabric in place so it's not willy-nilly all over the place. I absolutely love it. They're by Sew Tights, SEWTITES, Sew Tights. And I find a lot of uses for them. A lot of people, if you're fussy cutting, a lot of quilters love the Sew Tights cutting system. But I think the link to them is underneath on the YouTube page. They're also on my website as well. But it's a real cool story of how the girls started this. Okay, so I've got my front piece. This done. Remember this? This is going to be part of our table runner for our table later. Now, I just want to make this 18 inches. And then we'll put it together and sew it together, turn it inside out, and everybody's going to be happy. Okay. How you guys doing? Good? So, yeah? All right, cool. Yeah, Sony just wrote to me and said, hey, listen, what if I can't sew? Well, you're at the right place. This is Sewing Machines Plus. You're with a group of people who know what's up when it comes to sewing. So you can always ask questions here. We're so happy you're here. Sewing Machines Plus also will probably have the perfect sewing machine for you to start off with. So again, it's a couple of straight stitches, a little math, everybody's happy. And then you can make cool things like this. Now, if you were just to sublimate this on a napkin blank, you could do that as well. But again, I like the sustainability aspect of it. I like personalization. I like the look of it, the feel of it. And I'm just going to cut this here. Okay, and I probably will save this because I could use that scrap for something else. So there you go. And take off my. Has anyone ever heard of the Sew Tights? They're so cool. Okay. This. Let's see. Do we know what side? It's always hard for me to tell the front and the back sides. Yeah, I think this I want to be out. So that's going to be my inside. I should put this in the heat press, right? And then this will be Leo. He goes face down. And then I'll do some pinning around the edges. I'm going to talk really quick a couple of stats about sustainability because I've been upcycling since before it was cool, before it was a thing, and now it really does matter. So the average person throws away 81 pounds of clothes every year. That means all of those textiles, if they're not going to like a thrift store or to a donation, they're ending up in landfills. And then sometimes it takes years to decompose. So by refashioning clothes and also by taking these flannels and turning them into a table runner or a napkin, we are creating something very unique and we're saving materials from being wasted. Just think if everybody did a little bit, that would be amazing. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to put 2 pins so I know where I'm going to turn this little thing inside out. I know, friends, I know how good you are at what you do. I know this is a simple project, but the final project, the final look, I mean, that's where I get satisfaction. I don't care how simple or how hard it is. At the end of the day, when your person sits here and gets this gift, they're so excited. Okay, so I'm just gonna, normally I would take this and I'd whip it around my serger, but today we're just gonna do a nice little regular old stitch all the way around simply because I'm kind of challenged with my space here today. So I'm using the Luminaire XP3, and I'm literally just doing a straight stitch. So this would be the time when you and I get to talk and chat. So I wish that I could see your comments right now. And I will, if we get tired of this, I mean, you all agree with me, right? We would just jump over to our sergers. For our friends that are just joining us and they're just learning the joys of sewing, you don't have a serger, this is fine too. Because you can cut off these raw edges. Nobody's mad that I went over that, are you? Okay. Some of the sewing teachers would be. Joanne Banco, are you mad at me? I went over the pin. And we're just going to go around. But it's fun. This is kind of sometimes it's fun just to sit and go a couple of straight stitches, a little bit of math. Everybody's happy at the end of the day. I think next week, if you're looking for a new machine, I'm always wanting that 6-needle embroidery machine. Next week might be the week, countdown to Christmas, maybe Cyber Monday. We'll see. I don't know I don't know the exact products just yet because I've been focusing on this show with all of you. I would say one thing, even if you were going to be serging this, just make sure that you're capturing all the fabric. Sometimes I miss the flannel on the back. And I would also just probably use a regular old thread. I'm using colored thread just so I don't have to change it when we do a top stitch. Okay. And this is so fast. Let's say you're having a party of 30. It's going to take a little time, but if you're just having a couple people over, this is a really fun way to decorate your table, especially because Thanksgiving is all about friends and family. Okay, so let's go back over. Oh, I am. Just got stuck. Let's go back over to our workspace. And I'll take the pins out now. Please don't be mad at me. And if you didn't serge it, I just like to clip the corners so that they turn easily. And then I'm a perfectionist to a fault. I apologize for that, but I see that where I left my 2-inch opening, I see there's just a lot of extra fabric. If it was just serging, if I used my serger, it would just be gone. So I'm just going to get rid of that really fast. Nobody's mad about it. And I'll just do this just to keep it tight. So back to sustainability. The other thing, did you know it takes 2,700 liters of water to make one cotton t-shirt? 27. That's enough water, 2,700 liters. That's enough water for one person to drink in 2.5 years. I just want to give you some reasons to talk about sustainability at your Thanksgiving table. The other thing, instead of throwing out, I have a friend of mine, a guy I used to do radio with. Actually, I taught him how to sew. He now takes in his own shirts, but his name is Pete, and he sends me a video of himself throwing things in the garbage, like shirts he doesn't want anymore. It makes me crazy. So I think if Pete's watching, he should start being sustainable with the shirts he doesn't fix. What do you guys think about that? Okay, so this is so easy. And you can just flip it inside out. The other, I got a bonus sack for you if you want it. Only 15, I'm thinking about these things in my head as we're hanging out together. Only 15% of discarded clothes that are thrown in the garbage or given to the thrift store sorry, let me get that. 15% of clothes that are no longer wanted. Oh, look at a missing spot here. So 15% of clothes that are no longer wanted are not recycled or donated. They just end up in the landfill. So do you see what I messed up here? I missed a corner. Remember I said, oh, don't cut this, you miss a corner. I did it. So I'm gonna fix it really quick. And then we'll turn this inside out, do a top stitch, and then we'll move on to the next project. Because I want to show you more sublimating things, but I want to make sure I got this project done for you. Okay. I'm surprised I haven't run into anything yet. And, okay, so I fixed that. And what we're gonna do is give that a little press. Okay. How cute is that? That is adorable. I think everybody should start making one. You can do these without the personalization. You can actually do heat transfer vinyl, but this is going to last forever and ever and ever. I'm going to turn my edge in so that, because I'm just going to do a top stitch over the top and nobody will see it. And listen, these don't have to be precise. These don't have to be perfect, because it's the thought that counts. It's the look that counts. It's what you're doing at your table. So I am going to over here and just give this a quick press. Let's see. I can't really see all the comments, but I can see my face. Oh, let's see here. Hi guys, how are you? Okay, I'm just gonna give this a little press and then we're gonna top stitch it. And any top stitch will do. I'll probably just use a really basic one. Just because of time. So we are doing excellent so far. And I love that you guys are all here. What are some of your favorite things that you like to upcycle? I love upcycling neckties. I love upcycling denim. We know that. I really enjoy upcycling men's shirts. A lot of that. Turned into lots and lots of things. Yeah. And I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I did with the sublimation printer that I just found out that my iron is not on. So that's okay. Guess what? I'm going to take you over here. I have, lucky for me, I am prepared. I have one that's already done. We'll just do a couple of top stitches on that. So hold on 1 second and let me grab that. We'll go sew and then we'll do some more sublimating. It's so awesome. Maybe, oh, you want to know why I lost it? Because it was underneath my papers. Okay, so, no, we're not going to do that either. It was inside out. I'm going to wait for this to heat up for a second. The other thing, okay, so back to sublimation, because there's so many things that you can do with it. You can make wine bag sleeves. You can make I make an apron with the front placard being the sublimation. You can make pillows. You can, because it prints on white, and it needs to be lighter, you can make t-shirts, but because it prints on white, then you can put multiple pieces of fabric or pieces of paper together and then heat press that onto your fabric. We're going to do that as well. And I'm going to, okay, I think this is pressed enough. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay, let's get over here and do just a fun top stitch, right? So we're going to go to decorative stitch, okay, and let's just do that. I'm going to take this on the open side first, and I have, you can use fall colors. Use fall colors for your top stitch. I'm doing a real simple. There's so many cool decorative stitches that you could use on these machines from Brother. They take a little bit longer, but they look amazing. I have tested a ton of them out. I don't know about you guys, but I love testing out the different decorative stitches. I could just get lost in doing that. That's a project on its own. Like you can actually do that and frame it and put all the different decorative stitches in a frame. So I will do this all the way around. Are you adding up the minutes it would take if you had to do a party of 30? I think so. When we're talking about sublimation, one of the questions came up about the fabric, about what's made of, and I talked about it being polyester. So you want to make sure that the fabric is 65% or more polyester. Yeah, and then we're going to go to the corner. So you can find fabric at the fabric store that is perfect for any kind of project that you want. Look at how good that's going to be, so great. So 65% or more. The more polyester, the more it's going to embed into the fibers. But 65, 75, I like to go like 90 to 100. I also think that you can play around with it if you have some scraps. And I think you can play around with the time as well to see how it works out before you actually put it on your final project. Oh my gosh, this is just doing this right now makes me so happy because I really actually love this top stitch. Okay. I'm going to finish out this edge, show you guys what I will finish, and then we are going to sublimate some more. Oh my goodness, time is flying. And then I'm going to show you the finished table runner. I think time is flying because I talked too much at the very beginning. Okay. Oops. I try to get a good shot. I know Joanne always does a really nice job of getting in there. Look at how cool that looks. I love it so much. We are going to, that's my arm, reaching around. We're going to go back over to this space. Hi, everybody. How are you? I can finally see what you're talking about. But look at how cute. This is coming out so adorable. And I'll finish up the rest of the sides. I would roll it and then I'd put it on my place. And I'll show you a couple of different examples. So here's another one, how that tuck turkey to me came out. It is a great gift. It is a great tablescaping idea. It is so easy to do. I am going to the Klaus family and I'm making 30 of them. So, and you can even customize them. People are getting engaged or people are having babies. But I talked about, and do different designs. Do the same designs. Look at that. There we go. Look at how cute. That top stitch is great. I love that one. Yeah, super cute. Thanks, guys. So the other thing that I love is line sleeves. People go, oh, why isn't that a purse? So this is another sublimation. It's on a very silky fabric. But what I did is I didn't have any pumpkin fabric to use. So I used one of those fabric patterns from Artspira. I printed it out on the same fabric that I did this little graphic. I added some cotton at the very top. You put your bottle right in here and you tie it closed. So again, start thinking about different ways that you can incorporate sublimation into your designs. Now, if I love making aprons too. So it's a basic apron pattern, but I created a cute sublimation. Put that on my head. Sublimation. Look at it. And now I'm the chef. I love an apron because this is exactly how you should dress. You just wear black underneath and then put your apron on and let it tell the rest of the story. But use that sublimation in different, all of your different designs. I was talking about creating your own fabric. So come with me. I want to show you. I printed out some cool, let me see here. I printed out, I'm going to go back to Artspira and I'm going to show you what I printed out. I'm going to go to my creations, go down to the top here. See this? So that's just some floral fabric that I thought I could use to create a napkin from. But once it's printed, I'm going to cut a hole in the center of it and put a face. So meet me over at the overhead table, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, hi there. So this is more fabric scraps. We're going to save that. These are more sublimated designs that we're going to be working on. You saw some of those. This is what this looks like printed out. It looks bland, but it's not. What I'm going to do, again with my white square, I have taken, this is so much fun. I have taken these different pieces. I went to my scan and cut, and I cut a hole. Do you see this? I cut a hole through this one piece. That will be my center. Cut the hole out with using my scan and cut. And then I found a picture. This is my husband's brother, Andy, and I taped the picture in the center. And then I thought, well, how am I going to get this to fit this 18 by 18 inch square? And I'm like, well, I'm just going to cut and tape these different pieces together. I've done this before on a pillow. It came out super cute. I'm going to show you what the back looks like. There you go. Can you see all of this taped together? If you guys want, I think we should sublimate it. And now that flat press workspace heat press comes in different sizes. Mine is it's not as big as this piece of paper. So I'm going to go this and then this. I'm going to do 4. So if you want to hang out with me while I do that, I would love it. I would say stay tuned to the end. I got some tablescaping tips and tricks, and I'm going to do some giveaways. And I want you to know there's so many opportunities and there's so many things you can do with sublimation, but you need the printer to do it. You need to have the sublimation printer. Okay, are you guys ready? This is going to be so much fun. Okay, it's going to take 4 presses, but hang with me because you're going to love it. We're going to do it. Okay. I don't know. What should we do? We're going to put this first corner here, and then we'll do 4 corners. Okay. I've not done this to this piece, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to cross through here and say hi to you guys. So many things that you can do. Great gifts. I know I get that Thanksgiving is happening on Thursday and that you may not have a sublimation printer just yet, but you can order it today. You'll probably get it next week. You can order it next week and you can still do this project for Christmas. And there's 15 seconds left on our heat press. It's super hot. But these are just ideas. This is just to get your mind and your creativity flowing. If you're not going to sew it together, you can buy some blanks and put it together. But I love the idea of really personalizing a gift. Last year for Christmas, I'm just going to take this. Last year for Christmas, I created a memory quilt for my sister using different designs from her life. There we go. So that's going. I'm just going to stand over here. So last year I printed out all these different, but my sister's retired. So I had some t-shirts that I like to cut up and be sustainable with. And then I also printed all these different places that she worked. I printed them out and I made her a quilt. And it was such a great gift. I thought she loved it. She uses it all the time. It makes me so happy. And again, I'm super big on giving the gift of handmade. So there's so many ways that you need the sublimation printer to do it. It's a great price. And I think we have a graphic on the price while we're finishing off this one sublimation point. We can even put that up. But you could go to, there's a link below this show, or if you want more information, let's go back to the printer. You can click on that link and you could buy it. You could call SMP. They will help you out. This is kind of new for me, guys. I've not done this yet. There we go. Only one more time after this. There it is. So you've got great pricing today on the sublimation printer. It's normally right around $400. You're going to be about $50 off today. You can call in right now. You can go to the link at the bottom of the page here on YouTube, and you can click on that as well if you wanted to order it. But we'll have this probably next week. I know we do have it a lot. You can call, say Jane sent you 800-401-8151. I say this all the time. Lots of things you can do. So many options, so many opportunities to be creative, but you actually need the printer to do it. And I had this printer for over a year. I still have tons of ink left. And it's really changed the way I create, because before I'm ripping things apart, putting them back together. Now I'm just incorporating this into my designs. Okay. Does anyone remember what size I have not had that yet? I hope it works. This will be a great payoff. If it does, then I'll make a napkin and I'll send it to Andy. That's what I think I'm going to do. And that has 15 seconds left. There we go. So what are you guys thinking about making? I would say for Christmas, because it's getting pretty tight unless you have the printer. And I didn't actually see who already has the printer. We have one more press to do, and then we're going to get to the big reveal. And then I'm going to show you some tablescaping. I know we only have a couple minutes left, but we're going to get to all of it. I know we will. Okay. And I only have 5 seconds left. I'm going to go here. Did I get all the sides? I think I did. Okay. Come on. I'm just as excited as you guys. Are you ready? Oh, there's one side I didn't do. Hold on. Wait. You see it? It's not done on this corner. Please bear with me. I'm very excited. There, we've got. Okay, just one more side. I'm going to do the reveal. I'm going to show you some tablescapes. I'm going to show you the finished look from all of these different napkins that I made. And then I'm going to do a giveaway. So what do you guys think about that? Thumbs up? Cool. Thumbs up for me too. And then I got a lot more napkins to finish. I mean, there's so many things that we need to finish. And again, I think you're going to see on this particular example how vibrant the colors come out. So this is going to be ready in a couple seconds. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, now we're here. Look at how great that is. That is so good. And I mean, here's the thing. I don't mind the lines, and I'll tell you why. Because it feels like it's supposed to be that way. That is so funny. And look at this old flannel shirt that I found. I'm going to make a napkin out of this as well, and then that is going to be the napkin. Now, don't worry about getting spills on that, because you will never see the spills. That is so much fun. It's so vibrant. It's so cool. Simple and easy. I probably would have spent a little bit more time on lining up those papers just so it would be perfect and you can just see the seams, but it is really fun. Thank you for bearing with me for that. Okay, so let me give you some top tablescaping tips. Throw your questions in about the sublimation printer. I'll answer those as well. So save your scraps. We talked about that already. I saved my scraps to make a flannel table runner, and we have a photo of the flannel table runner for you to see. There it is. Okay, you can see I leave the buttons and I leave all the pockets. I measured like how big do I want it. I think these are like 16 inches wide and it's 103 inches long. I used a whole bunch of different flannels, but I used the back half for the napkin and I'm using the front half for the table runner. So next up, so that's the base. That's your foundation when it comes to tablescaping, and you want to layer your textures on your table. You want to layer the elements. It's kind of like a recipe, or it's kind of like sewing. You got your napkins, your plates, you got your chargers, you've got your flannel runner, and that's just going to create this rich and textured look. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use chargers, and you can see them there. And that's just a gold charger. Chargers kind of tie it all together. So they act like a frame for your plates and your handmade napkins. And it just instantly defines, this is my place at the table. And it just makes the whole table look organized and intentional. And by the way, chargers are functional as well. They protect your tables from hot plates. And again, vintage plates on top of these metallic chargers are amazing. And these gold and metallic ones are going to add that warmth to your Thanksgiving table. I'll tell you this, chargers and vintage plates, they're the dynamic duo for tablescaping and sustainability. So I added some vintage plates, and I think we have another photo of the plates, or the next photo. Look at that. So these plates are conversation starters. You just mismatched vintage plates. They tell a story. They could be heirloom. They're a mix maybe from family and friends and thrift store finds or like garage sales, but it also is a great way to be sustainable and recycle and reuse, and it makes your table totally unique. When you use the plates on top of the charger along with the flannel runner, it is literally the chef's kiss to perfection for your table or your Thanksgiving tablescape. I love it. And you're going to play with heights, and we have some more photos of something that's tall, and you're going to incorporate natural. There's another vintage plate. Incorporate natural elements. Those are leaves. Those are pine cones that I painted. So you can see how I just added those little natural touches to the top of that flannel. It's like warm, and it's just such a cool fall vibe. And you can see the layering that's happening there on the table. We can go to the next photo. And as you can see, I'm adding the napkins as they're being finished. And we'll take to the next photo. Those are more elements. You're going to add heights. I put candles on the table. I put sort of fun and unique glassware on the table. And then you want to end it, of course, with your centerpiece. And I used a bowl, and I just threw some flowers in and some faux little small, pumpkins and gourds and the pine cones. And it's just such a, if you're creative and you've spent the time to make the napkins, I know you're not going to be sad about painting your pine cones. And there you go. There's a finished napkin for Gretchen. You could put a little tie around that if you want as well, but you can see the layering effect. You can see the vintage plate peeking out. You can just see how warm and welcoming that table is. And I'll tell you this, the runner that was saved from a landfill that is now the center of your Thanksgiving table gives you so much to be thankful for, truly, because you have the ability to make it yourself. And I think that that is one of my favorite things about creating, and it is my favorite thing about today. So that is so much information for just a little bit over an hour. Really quick, I want to do a giveaway. Let's see. I think so. If you go to my website, JaneClaus.com, you'll see all the things I talked about. It'll send you to Sewing Machines Plus if you click on the links, because Sewing Machines Plus always have the best deals for you. But if you go to JaneClaus.com, you go to Shop Jane, I've got really fun items. I've got my Maker Stash, which is like my links that send you to places to buy the things you need to make. And then I've got my merchandise. I know that you guys are sewing and quilting and crafting, and I know you're cooking because I asked you at the top of the show. Domestic Diva is my line of merchandise, and I've got hoodies and I've got t-shirts, and I know we have photos of them. They'll be there. You go. So I've got some fun hoodies that say Domestic Diva. These make great gifts. I've got this, a stove. It says Domestic Diva, and I love this one with the high heel Domestic Diva. I also have other things on there. Candles. Like one day I was, staying out all night, and now I have a candle. It says "You're still a rock star." I whisper to myself as I crawl into the bed at 9 o'clock at night. And of course, a lovely coffee mug that I give away all the time. But at Shop Jane, you can find all of this fun gifts for the holidays with the Domestic Diva merch. And of course, slippers. I love slippers. These are all the things I love in my life. That's why they're in my store. Okay, so let's do a giveaway. And I think we're going to spin the wheel. And here's the thing. Here we go. Okay. Oh, go ahead. You can spin the wheel. And spin the wheel. If everybody has been chatting, you know how it goes. The more you chat, the more times you're entered. And I think about getting a mug and then putting a napkin inside the mug. Pam Nestler, congratulations, Pamela, watching on YouTube. So happy to have you here. Thank you for hanging out with us today. It's been so much fun. Pam, what you need to do. Oh, did I say what I was going to give away? Oh my goodness, I didn't say what I was going to give away. That's going to be a candle. Pam, we're going to do another one. Pam, you need to go to the smplive.tv, scroll to the bottom of the page, fill out your name, your information, tell us what you won, which is the candle, and then I will send that right out to you. They're going to give me your name and address and all that good stuff. Just say you won the candle. Do you want white or do you want yellow is what you need to know. But I'll get your info and I'll email you that. Okay, let's do one more giveaway, and it's going to be a Domestic Diva hoodie. Oh yeah, here we go. This is it. All the money, a big cozy hoodie for the winter coming right up. I know we can all use it. And the winner is Marcia Yanklitas. Did I say that wrong? Marcia, you won the hoodie. That is so awesome. Marcia, same for you. You're going to go to smplive.tv to redeem your prize. And I know you know this. You are going to go all the way to the bottom of the page when you get to SMP Live. And you're going to give us your name, your address, your email, your phone number, and then say that you won a Jane Klaus hoodie, and then I will be in contact with you to ship that off. So those are my prizes for today. I can't say thank you enough to all of you. Yeah, thanks. Hi. I can't say thank you enough to all of you for hanging out with me today. I hope that you've had a little inspiration, and with your own imagination, you can take your tablescaping, your sustainability, and your sublimation to the next level. There are so many things that you can do. If you don't have the printer, I encourage you, get one today. It's just really changed the way that I create. I got to say thanks to Andrew and Kyle and Blaine and everybody at SMP for allowing me to take over on Tuesday. And don't forget, there's your printer. Call in for that special. Say Jane sent you. 800-401-8151. We're going to be spending all next week together, my friends. Thank you for joining me. JaneKlaus.com. Find me on socials. Find me everywhere you want. Send me a note. I really appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving.